Hey folks, Happy New Year. It is January 2nd, Sunday. My sequence is still out of sorts because of being on vacation and the weather pattern. But here's a different view from the Mirliton vine here in Mobile. Usually my truck's parked here, but if you'll recall a couple episodes ago, talked about a big branch falling. So it's in the shop now, so hopefully in about a month or so it'll be repaired and good as new. But anyway, last week I talked about waiting for the to cut this maybe January 15th. Well, looks like we're actually going to get a light freeze tonight or tomorrow. Let's get down to 32. So what I'm really thinking about doing at this point is I'm going to cut my get my Mirlitons that are on the vine still. I'm going to go ahead and pick those, and I'm going to see how the the plant does tonight, and if it looks like it's either suffered a little bit of deterioration after work, all I'm going to do is come down at the base and just snip them and just let the growth just kind of die. But you know, it's amazing, as Dr. Hill and I were talking. I mean, getting female flowers still end of December, 1st of January. But it's just been uncharacteristically hot here in the Gulf Coast this year. So I'm sure that's been a phenomenon that's been seen in the past, maybe not documented as well. But nonetheless, I've got quite a few that actually are sprouting even on here. Pardon the noise of the neighbor kid. But I'll just go through and you'll see some of them are actually sprouting. And I made my soup and my casserole, and I got to pickle some. Haven't gotten around to doing that yet, but I'll probably take some of the sprouted ones and see about maybe just selling them as sprouts. Probably not more than a handful what I got, but I may be wrong. But it just depends on what my schedule's going to be like on potting these things. Yeah, see, there's a little spiky there. So my wife and I were out here earlier, and I think we figured out there was at least another 4 or 5 on the back end. And I think by the time I get finished picking these today, I'll end up with about 10. So this may be the last video of the year, other than maybe an epilogue type of thing where I come back and just show you what it looks like. But like I said, it's just, you know, on one hand, if we could end up with the temperatures holding out and the plant doing well, I could easily, you know, I mean, you're seeing right now what I'm seeing, at least another dozen that are pollinated. It's just amazing. And that would take me all the way through to an early spring crop. So well, I don't know, we'll just see what happens here. We'll do a little quick survey again and see what I got left to pick. Oh yeah, this one is more than ready to go here. That one's good enough. You know, people often are asking if they're ready to pick. I mean, you can pick them small. They don't have to really ripen. It's just whether or not, you know, you get more for your money. The bigger you let it get. So here were a couple that my wife and I were talking about as we were walking through, seeing some that we had missed. Good Lord, I'm sorry for that. Here's some that we found is, like I said, you can see this one sprouting. My wife and I were walking through here, and there's another one. And I think there was one up here she found too, wedged up right up there. And of course we've got those two there. I think I've got most of these on the back end, but you know what's going to be interesting is that after well, there's one I can see right there. There's another one. So what's going to happen is that when I cut this back and the vegetation dies, I'll probably find another handful, and those will still probably be worth you know, eating. It's just that, or even saving to plant. It's just that, you know, you just don't see them right away. So hopefully that's a plan for next week. Probably as a wrap up, like I said, with an epilogue type of thing, I'll give you a kind of an update of what the plant looks like if I keep it, or also, you know, what the vines are looking like that I've planted and how many I've got. Well, let's see, what have I got? Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So I got technically 17 of them here, and as you can see, some of them have already really sprouted a lot more, and really are just fit to be preserved for next year. But I could eat them if I want to. But like I said, these are just going to be, I think this is, let's say 16. I think it was up to 63 the other day. So I'm pushing 75, 80 this season. And I left 5 out there. Like I said, I want to kind of see what happens with the weather. And I venture to say there's probably at least another 3 or 4, maybe more, that I can't find that'll probably still be out there. So if I end up with another 10, that pushes me to 90, which will probably be, you know, it's not quite as good as last year, but I'm not going to complain at all, especially like I said in the last video, only having 3 a couple of times. So anyway, hopefully this is all a good indication for the rest of 2022 as far as Mirliton. Hopefully all the other things that are bad in the world will improve. Hey folks, I'm kind of combining this as part of my previous week's Mirliton update, but you can kind of see what's happened. We had a freeze here Tuesday, and the first day I didn't cut it back. I decided to go ahead and I'd let it ride, and it only got down to 33 or so. The next day was projected to be 37, and I mean 27, or actually 30. And what ended up happening is that as the more I read and the longer it looked, I thought it was best to come out and cut it. So when I got home from work, I pulled this back and I just went about cutting it down there. Now, what I prefer to do when I do this is really to cover it. And I didn't get a chance to do that because it was late after work. So I'll go around on the other side and we'll see what it looks like. But I was hoping that because all this foliage was left here, it would take the brunt of any frost or any coldness and kind of protect the roots down there. Now, I've already gone back and found I had missed like 5 Mirlitons. I'd left some on the vine, as I was telling you. But look now, as I come out here, the more of the vegetation dies off, I still see a couple that I've missed of decent size. In fact, there's another one in the camellia bush there. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, I'm going to go through and get those, but they may not be as good as the fresh ones, but if they still feel pretty firm and good, I'll go ahead and actually I see a third one. Okay. Anyway, I'll go ahead and pick those and utilize them as best I can. So let's go check the other side. Now here's an unpleasant surprise. Apparently I missed one enough that some damn squirrel got to it, but luckily maybe it got it out of its system that didn't like it. Oh well. Alright folks, so down on the other side, it's kind of hard to tell, but you can see that I did actually cut back quite a few. But the good news that I'm pretty excited about is that I've got some leaves down there that didn't appear to be harmed at all. So still got a lot of new growth, even though it's just a couple days after the freeze. So my plan of action really going forward is that hopefully today or tomorrow, before the next freeze occurs, I'm going to come in and cover this up a little bit better, and just to protect it. But like I said, my main goal was to protect the root system there. I cut back a couple other smaller ones I had, so we'll see if they come back. But like my rule of 3, of keeping 3 behind, I may just plant those next year just to improve my chances. So we're gonna see how many more I can pick. If you ever wanted to get some up close looks of the dried out Mirliton leaves, this is just after a hard freeze. I say hard freeze, it was about, like I said, got down to 27 here for about 4 hours. I think we got down from 32 to 27. And obviously the plant itself had stopped its flow of juices, for better lack of term. But as you can tell, the leaves didn't take long to really be affected by it. And temperatures actually got up pretty warm afterwards. So it's, like I said, it's been a warm winter. If I could have covered this enough and protected it, probably still be going now. But like I said, I always rather err on the side of protecting the vine instead of being greedy and trying to get more fruit. Alright, so there's 3 here, and there would have been a 4th one if that squirrel wouldn't have got it. I feel like, I bet you when I go up on top of this structure, I'll probably find at least 1 or 2 more. So I'm going to increase my yield for this year to about 85. I think that'll be about pretty accurate. It's about 20 less, or maybe 2 dozen less than I would have got last year. But that's not bad. Like I said, there was a picture that came up on Facebook, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, and actually it only looked like I had 1 that came back. So anyway, I hope these videos have been helpful to everybody this growing season. Every year seems to be a little different. Every time I film it, I think I learn a little bit more, so hopefully I'm passing that on to y'all as well. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments section below, or send them to me at rpcajun2r@gmail.com. You can follow the Facebook page, Mirliton Man of Mobile. Please like and subscribe David J. Hubbell YouTube page for updates. I'll keep doing this as long as I got a vine and healthy. And I'd like to do a little more cooking, but that takes a little more coordination. And so I think I'm going to close this out as far as the last growing video for the year, or for the fall 2021 season. It is January 8th, 2022 now. So I'm going to work on getting the next set of plants planted in pots, and see if I can make a few available for the Mobile area, or anybody who's willing to drive to Mobile and get them. I'll put pricing on the Mirliton Man page. So once again, don't forget to check out mirliton.org, Dr. Lance Hill's site that he's put together with a lot of great information. And maybe if I stop filming, I can get some updates on the Israel Thibodeaux as well as some others. So thank y'all again, and I will see you in future videos. Thanks, bye.